it's just doing a video about like history and how things can be taken different ways at different points in time, like the swastika, for instance. Yeah, but I'd like down a little further than I have, so I've seen all this really cool stuff. Like there was not all of these great Texas memorials before. Like some people thought they were bad because they could offend people, which is true. But if we taught the history and things, and we remember our history and we learn from history, then these things can become quite beautiful. The marker, and we say, look, we accomplished this. Texas has never, ever had all of these things here before. I don't care what an internet says, because I've been here my life, and I remember monument hunting with my grandmother, and they were maybe every 50 miles you had a tiny little plaque or something. So I'd say the government probably had the money to do this stuff a long time ago and used it for other things, but we can remember our history and remember the pain of it, but also the greatness of it, because we've changed. We are not slaves anymore, even though we keep trying to enslave a different person, a different kind of something. We all have roots in something that has been enslaved before. So, that's how we take it. So what we do. But I'm choosing to take it as hopefully we're learning some things from our past. Maybe we had to cycle through it a few times. Or maybe we're finally learning. There's a big difference between the repetition of learning. They say you have to do something 400 times before you learn it. So think about all the things you learned as a child. So how fast did you have to learn them? Why can't we do that as adults? But also, insanity is the same thing. If you did something 400 times and it was wrong 400 times, why are you going to keep doing it that way? So maybe we can change some things and go, maybe I don't need, let's learn different, Because I don't want to have to learn something 400 times, because my mind is already off thinking of some other solution. If I had to do it 3 times and it was still wrong, like at Walmart, let's look for something different, let's find a different solution. But that's just my perspective. But I'm going to take this as a good sign.